Whether she was a murderess or not, the point is that Isabella was quite capable of organising and even leading an army to secure her son's claim to France in 1328, if she had not been otherwise preoccupied, heading a shaky regency with her unpopular and ruthless paramour, Roger Mortimer. If her marriage had not broken down due to her husband's involvement with the Despencer family, and possibly his homosexuality, England might have attacked France in the late 1320s, provided that the exhausting and humiliating loss of the Scottish War of Independence was successfully negotiated first. The power-crazed and acquisitive Despensers were unlikely to have encouraged a war had they still been in power in the late 1320s, as Edward II's chief advisers, given that if either Isabella or a royal kinsman, Earl Henry of Lancaster, Earl Edmund of Kent, led an English army to success, they could then turn it on the Despencer regime. Similarly, Edward II was not enthusiastic about waging war in person, and had had a humiliating experience at Bannockburn in 1314, although he was prepared to fight hard in extremis for his own preservation, as he did in confronting Earl Thomas of Lancaster in 1322. But an English government that had avoided the polarisation of high politics in 1322–26 might have risked a French venture, at least if there was a threat to their possession of Guienne, which was possible from an overconfident new French king hostile to Isabella, such as Philip VI. The centralising French crown had tried to confiscate Guienne before 1294, and the fact that, as of 1259, the English king was the former's vassal was a problem easy to exploit. Edward III's formal claim in 1338 only occurred once Philip VI had repeatedly shown his ill will towards his rival, who he seems to have consistently undervalued. The young and highly energetic English king was the type of ruler to seek to revive his grandfather Edward I's successes against France as a morale booster for the monarchy's reputation after the loss of Scotland, but as of 1333–38 he was already engaged in war in the latter country, so he was not free to look for a target. The death of the ailing Robert Bruce in 1329 left his 5-year-old son David II as king, and left the Scots without an adult ruler, and so Edward sought to restore the enforced vassalage of Scotland, which he had had to abandon in the Anglo-Scottish Treaty of 1328, by installing a vassal king to replace David. The physical reconquest of Scotland as an integral part of England was impossible, so that part of Edward I's international strategy had to be abandoned. Instead, Edward III reverted to his grandfather's strategic plan of 1292–96 by restoring the Balliol dynasty, under Edward Balliol, as his vassals. The king did not, however, act rashly.